But on January 19th, I was, doing things here in the kitchen, and I started feeling some awful pain in my stomach. Within 5 minutes, it was so bad. I felt like I needed to go lay down. So I went and lay down and put a heating pad on my stomach. And, within a few minutes, the pain was getting really bad. I got up to go to the bathroom, and I told my granddaughter, hey, I need some help. And I went into the bathroom because I felt like I had to go diarrhea. But I'm sitting on the toilet gagging like I'm gonna throw up. I didn't do either. The pain just intensified, and I was getting so dizzy I couldn't see. My granddaughter called my son-in-law, and he rushed right over. I could barely walk at this time between the dizziness and the pain. So he brought his car right up to my door. He helped me out of my house and into his car. And it was a mile away, but it seemed like the ride took forever. He apologized for the bumps, because the bumps really hurt. But got into the ER, and I could barely hold my head up. It was bad. My granddaughter, she pulled my wheelchair right back. She sat in the chair and pulled my wheelchair right up to her. Couldn't hold my head up. I know it was flopping back. She told me later that my head was resting on her girls, you know what I mean. But I went into the triage nurse, and I'm on the verge of passing out at this time. My granddaughter is doing the talking for me. And I heard the triage nurse tell another nurse, her blood pressure is 70 over 40. And I'm like, oh shit, no wonder I feel so bad. And then I remember just waking up in the ER bed and wondering how I got there. I told my granddaughter, you need to call Alex. Alex is my middle child. So she suckered him, and when I woke up again, he was in the room, and they were sending me to do a CAT scan on my belly. And the CAT scan came back, and they seen him as the appendix. So they were going to schedule me for emergency surgery to get that removed, because I was septic already. Oh, God, what a nightmare that was becoming. But they went ahead and took it out. I can't say when, but they also found a gallbladder. But because I was in such bad shape, they just took the appendix. And the work of the next day, and the bowels was bad again. I asked my daughter, I said, did my base fall again? And she said, no, Mom. Oh, me. Whew, that's scary. But my daughter came, she got me. and nobody can bend, so I could write, what I needed to act good nurses. Because I couldn't even ask for a drink, D-R-I-N-K, because of my voice. And I had an IV in each arm. So when my son would come, he'd come twice a day, morning and night. He would do ordering the menu for me, which was great. And when they sent up a liquid diet one day, he just texted his friend that worked down in the kitchen. And within minutes, I had pancakes and scrambled eggs and orange juice. It was nice. But when I come home from that surgery 2 days later, I had got 3 home health, and they come in. I had a nurse, PT person, and a speech therapist. And I come home with a walker. Oh, but it was awful. Totally zapped my stink. But, whenever you have surgery, you gotta space them apart. I called the eye surgeon and I said, I just had appendix surgery. Is it okay to still do the left eye? Because they were going to do the left eye on February 6th. I told Bob. And he said, yes, as long as you're off antibiotics for 2 weeks. And I was off for 13 days. Well, they still did the cataract on the left eye. Which was good. Laser surgery, no problem with that. 2 weeks later, I had the right eye done, and I had a weird problem with that. Part of the cataract slipped over my eye and just rose. Well, it still is. It's just rusting at the back of my eye. It's not causing no problems. But my vision, I went from 2400 and 2500 to 2020 and 2025. So a huge difference, I can see great with that right eye. The left eye, of course, is diminished because of the bad pills. But it's all good. I can read without glasses, well, sometimes. It depends on the print. But it's beautiful, that when the sky is clear and a pretty blue, I see that. I see many things, I guess. You just don't realize how bad your eyes are until you have cataract surgery and fix them. That was great. But I finally got in to see my primary on April 15th, and she referred me to the GI doctor to see what, they could do about the gallbladder. So I seen that GI person on June 20th. Would have been my mama's 81st birthday. I got her as her thoughts. So, my mouth is getting dry again. Bill's Palsy is a brat and a half. But the GI doctor said I need to go have a health scan, HILDA scan, on my belly to see how bad the gallbladder was. And it was bad. She referred me to a surgeon, and I seen a surgeon on November 5th, and he said, yeah, she would benefit from having it out, and we went out and scheduled surgery, and he scheduled it for November 17th, which is great. I had been dealing with a stomach pain since June of 24, so to finally get rid of it and start healing again is, that would be awesome. Didn't quite work out that way. When I seen the surgeon on December 5th, not the surgeon, the doctor, about the surgery on the 17th, it was my 2-week post-op. She took me off work for another 4 weeks because my belly was healing, but my face was not. On December 14th, decision was made to go ahead and retire because of all the problems. And then I started a waiver program to get somebody in here to help me with the things I cannot do. So I'm almost done with that process, here on January 17th. And, I'm still healing. Today has been 2 months since the gallbladder surgery. I don't sleep good because the stomach is still healing. Sometimes I get sharp pain. I get exhausted sometimes and take a lot of naps during that day. I sleep about 3 hours at a time. Day or night, don't matter. It sucks. But at least I'm not nauseous all the time. And I don't have the pain. This is the body's getting back on track. Hopefully my base will follow suit. Anyways, that's my story of the 4 surgeries last year. I'm hoping 2026 will be much better.